love triangle that's been happening into the gold lane, where it's Granger, who was countered by Harith, who was countered by the Irith picks.
Yeah, the Bedang has been rising to the occasion. I'm still trying to get on the board, on the table, and I wonder if Papar Supermassive will go in for that as they opt in for the Phoveus.
For the Hilda, it's just that I want to say Hilda's biggest weakness comes with a cease
time to pick up, and it got a little bit of a nerf as well with the damage, so it takes even longer.
There, Bruno's taken off the board, so we're kind of looking. It is going to be a Beatrix, so we're kind of sticking to these. Answered up there with a Belric on the Papara Supermassive side.
And
we haven't seen Kufra too often anymore, so it is going to be the.
Don't forget to follow and subscribe. Thank you. Kanjut.
How successful that birthright can be.
As ladies and gentlemen, we are now jumping into the land of Dawn for the challenge season of Snapdragon Pro Series, series number 1 for the winners match Group A. Papar Supermassive up against Birthright in a best of 5.
I'm not gonna lie, this is what I like to see when both teams, especially with their
specifically for After Dark on this Sicilian, right? Somebody that can just drop on top and pretty much get that petrify and get the quick kill. So that's going to be his main focus. Not to mention you have a lot of backline dive with the Hayabusa as well. So it's going to be a little bit of a challenge for the mid laner. Speaking of challenge though, Mohi gonna shut down my lobby on the Yu Zhong for first blood.
This is one of those like really expert plays when it comes to a Yu Zhong, who really comes into his own when he gets that level 3, when he gets that level 4. But right before that, he is so susceptible to being ganked. I feel like a lot of people don't understand that sometimes when they play him, because they're just playing off of like that mid game that he's going to have, and that he's got a lot of regen here. I mean, he doesn't even have an escape here. Level 1 gets popped up and boom, Mohi comes in to clean up the job. It's quick, easy, and I want to say like without any fault there, able to get out very quickly.
Yeah, and I mean, like you said, Papar Supermassive going in for the damage, the doubly impure rage for Mohi and After Dark. You don't want to take that lightly.
They're going to go ahead, start up on this turtle. 2 to 3. Oh, actually, now we do have the 3. Do have a little bit. Bedang goes in, looking for, doesn't have the fist crack just yet. We do come in with the demonic force. The rest of Birthright is going to have to go out. Black Dragon is out, looking for the petrify. Mohi still gets the turtle. My lobby chasing, but unable to make them pay for it. Ooh, we did see a Spear of Vengeance come out there, but not able to capitalize. 3 down for the side of Birthright, and a turtle taken under their nose.
Yeah, Papar Supermassive off to a great start. My lobby, he went in and tried to focus on the Mohi, right? He didn't really go in for the mage for the backlines. He just tried to focus on stopping the retribution on the turtle. Not really sure that was the wisest decision, especially when his jungler wasn't in retry distance for that 50-50 trade. He would have been better off just going in for the backline kill to at least find something from that engagement. But now Papar Supermassive leading the way with the 1,000 gold lead.
Yeah, and then I'm kind of wondering if it was just a miscommunication on the side of Birthright, or maybe just a plus for Papara Supermassive, as you had Blotzfet there in the back holding the back line, making sure that they were separated. So even if the Black Dragon came in, it wasn't going to be a successful burst or a successful gank from Birthright, because technically they forced my lobby well into the back line where the rest of Birthright weren't going to be able to follow. So, I mean, it's a good plan to be able to kind of counter what your enemy is trying to do there, especially when we were talking about how integral a pick like the Yu Zhong can be for a composition like this.
Yeah, Yu Zhong running the war cry as well, so he's gonna have that sustained damage for those basic attacks.
Whoa. And with that, we had, I want to say the ultimate came out from Blotzfet, followed by a Spear of Vengeance. Zhao came in, was able to clean up as well. 5-1 for Birthright. And I've talked about it before, Birthright has been known to be a little bit of a slow starter, and it's one of those, I want to say, one of their prime weaknesses that I feel like still they're able to come in at the end, they're able to hold it together. But I mean, if a team is going to be able to take advantage of you to this degree, there might be some problems with you trying to get that advantage back from them, as we're moving on to the next turtle.
Yeah, moving on to the next turtle and a little bit of damage in the mid lane.
Yeah, they're going to go ahead and easily clean up the second turtle. Birthright is able to get their purple buff. Blotsfed and After Dark looking for some information. Ooh, Quad Shadow comes out, is not going to catch anybody, but they're going to be here to try to put some damage and clear out these minions from the bottom tower. Right now, Birthright just having some trouble trying to catch up or even gain control of these rotations.
Yeah, just a really good setup. The taunt.
Yeah, with the pop-up, Blotsfed with a great positioning, catches the Wrath of Dryad on to an unsuspecting Levi, and the entire team has to spurt into action, and you have, I want to say, 2 ultimates down for the side of Birthright, just because of, I want to say, some positioning there, and that's going to come down to some of the vision. They're starting to fall a little bit behind. We're at the 5-minute and already 3K gold behind as they're looking to blitz onto this bottom tower.
Yeah, they're looking to go ahead and proxy this lane now. Mark and Wicked needing to be careful, but look at Zhao's positioning. He's going to go ahead and take this turret with little to no problem. Blotsfed and After Dark, the mage tank synergy right now. The rotations from them, they're outdoing Birthright. We're not really getting to see Danny rotate around with Mark to be as effective. And we talked about this Bedang in the roam position and how it just struggles a little bit to more traditional tanks. And you're getting to see that firsthand here as we are now at the 6-minute mark, and it's a 3,000 gold lead for Papara Supermassive. Glowing Wand picked up by After Dark as well. It's going to have that Life Bane passive on it as well to work up against this Yu Zhong, especially when he has that Shot Essence and Residue to be able to get that life steal, not to mention the Spell Vamp. But there goes another proxy lane, this time on the top side. Just pure surgical rotations from Papara Supermassive.
Yeah, and doing a great job of it as well here. That's 2 towers unanswered. They're going to be looking to mount that huge pressure onto mid, which is where things start to fall apart for a team. Mark in a little bit of trouble. Sanguine Claws are out as well. Demonic Force putting on the damage as Zhao starts on to this turtle. Birthright not in a great position. You even have your jungler on the other side of the map, so they're not going to be able to do too much as well. 50% left on it. Mohi comes in very slowly, and this kind of leads to a question for me. When it comes to communication, you knew your jungler was on the other side of the map. Was the call to sit there and watch them take the turtle? Or maybe we should have put some resources into maybe pushing another lane or something else that's at least possibly got some value out of the enemy getting that turtle. Huh.
Speaking of value. Ooh.
Yeah, speaking of value, another Wrath of Dryad. I want to say, I don't think I've seen a Belleric with such a high percentage of hitting those Wrath of Dryads, especially on something as mobile as a Hayabusa. And maybe that's just kind of showing the frustration from Birthright right now as they are behind 6-1 and almost a 5K gold deficit.
Yeah, doing a great job of positioning, and now my lobby may be in some trouble.
Yeah, and Wessa gonna go ahead and put on some damage. Ooh, big pop-up comes in with the Demonic Force and forcing a touch there as Marco might be in a little bit of trouble coming in. Mohi finds a kill onto Mark. Just wide is a Spear of Vengeance, and that is lucky for Birthright, as you might have been looking at another death. Not that a 7-1 kill lead for Papara Supermassive isn't a huge deal right now.
And a 5,000 gold lead in climbing. The economy is definitely on the rise for Papara Supermassive, and Birthright need to be careful. And this is a little alarming considering there's a Moskov and a Sicilian on Papara Supermassive's side. The scales, the stacks from Sicilian for After Dark, it's going to hit like a truck the later this game goes. And then Zhao just doing really good. He already had the Golden Staff. He already had the Corrosion Sights, and I'm assuming he's going to be going in for a Demon Hunter Sword as well to hit even harder.
Yeah, Mark actually goes in there. Wicked finds a kill onto Wassa. This might be the opportunity that they're looking for. Zhao finds a kill onto My Lobby to answer right back. And just when Birthright seem to have a small opportunity, Papara Supermassive are there to snuff out the flame quickly and efficiently as the First Lord pops onto your screen.
And that's going to be a little bit of a struggle for Wassa, Evan Star, on this Phoveus, right? I mean, once he engages, he has no way to get out, so you can pretty much expect him to fall. But his main goal is to deal as much damage as possible while Papara Supermassive rushes from the side to go ahead and clean shop. And now we're going to go ahead and see this Lord spawned in. Still a major lead from Papara Supermassive so far, yet to lose a single turret, and have claimed 2 turrets on the bot side, 1 on the top side as well, and now looking for this Lord.
The problem is that you go in as Wasau with that demonic force, and they spent like around 3 or 4 ultimates to try to take you down. Yes, they took you down, but was it a mistake? Because it allows Papara Supermassive to find a kill of their own and a little bit of an advantage. And a kill, if a kill is answered with a kill with a death on your team as well, it's not really bringing you to an advantage. It's just kind of keeping you at a stalemate. It's the Black Dragon is getting chunked down here, searching through the air to find itself something here. My Lobby in trouble as Wasau finds the killing blow. Oh, and Eternal Guardian comes out as well. The rest of Birthright going to have to turn heel and run. Levi gets found out at the bush, and this is going to be the opportunity the Papara Supermassive we're looking for in this first Lord.
Yeah, Birthright tried to find an opportunity for the contest, but with that 5,000, now 6,000 gold lead from Papara Supermassive, you see how much of a difference it makes. They're zoning them out of these objectives, not even able to step into the Lord Pit for the contest play, as we are seeing just the gold difference between the marksmen. 1,000 gold lead in Zhao's favor, well ahead of Wicked. He already picked up that Demon Hunter sword we were looking for, so he already has the Holy Core Trinity for this Moskov, and that's all he needs to pretty much shred anybody in front of him. And now we'll be shifting focus toward this mid lane as they have a Lord marching on the bottom side.
Yeah, for me, the interesting thing here is as a Bedang, when it comes to your utility as a roam, you really only have as a peeling ability Fist Break. And that's what sets down the wall. That's what pushes the enemy into that wall. But it kind of signals to your team, hey, we've got an opportunity here. And you can see Birthright kind of like lunging on that opportunity. However, most of the time, that's a roam that they're hitting. That's a Wasau that they're hitting. And they're not actually able to actively find some of these squishiers from the back line, even though they have a Yuzong on their team, which is just, I want to say, a massive handoff for how Papara Supermassive are handling this composition and making it look like they have the advantage when it comes to diving into those back lines.
You know, and you asked the question before we jumped into this game, how do these teams delay this from going to the late game? How do they make it so where they can win fast and efficiently? And that's what we're seeing today from Papara Supermassive.
Oh, my Lobby gets gunned down, tries to dive in for a jump, misses, and the rest of Papara Supermassive punishes him for it. And another thing here, too, is the clear speed that we have on the side of Birthright. A little bit of security there that we do have the Benedetta. We do have that ultimate. We do have the ability to clear out waves very quickly, along with Danny on the Vexana, who's going to have a huge amount of CC, the Cursed Blast that she can lay down, which is just a huge AoE that she can lay down to kind of defend those lanes. So they have a little security when it comes to defending the base. It's just how long before Papara Supermassive is going to be able to just turn the tide on you, especially with a 9K about to reach a 10K gold lead.
And this is Birthright, right? They're a team that were very confident and believe they can pretty much take down anybody in the Snapdragon Pro Series. But you're starting to see, as we rise higher in the challenge season, these teams are evolving, and Birthright looks like they're falling a little bit behind against the Papara Supermassive for game number 1. It's an 8,000, almost 9,000 gold lead now. Look at the gold leaderboard. Zhao sitting at 10K, right behind him, Mohi, both on the side of Papara Supermassive, and then right behind him is Wicked. But then everybody else is trailing far behind, and that just showcases, by stacking up these objectives, how big that snowball can form if you're not careful. But now, a possible counter plan the right way. Look at Birthright stacking up in that bush, waiting for an opportunity.
Ooh, they do catch a Petrify and a pop-up, but that's going to be a Phobius. Black Dragon is out looking for an angle. Blotside in a little bit of trouble there, taking a heap of damage. Mark is going to have to flicker himself out. Mohi finds a kill onto Mark. My Lobby next, and Wicked falls next to his teammates. A triple kill for Mohi for the side of Papara Supermassive as they also grab themselves a Lord. Levi in trouble, uses the quad shadows to escape. Mohi hot on his trail. Levi comes back on that quad shadows. Looks like he might survive another day. Have I spoken too quickly?
No.
Mohi with a little bit of a taunt there. An emote, but Zhao looking for the finish. No minions here for him as they take a heap of damage from the core. And man, Birthright on the edge of a loss here.
Wow, what a play. He almost was able to end that game. Definitely eyes on the prize, but you got to give credit over there to Levi. Even though he was very low, even though he had the hot pursuit on his tail, he was able to quad shadow in and clear out those minions last second, leaving the base crystal at about 5% HP, buying his team enough time to be able to spawn in for a second chance. But now, what do they make of this opportunity?
I mean, you're still down about 10K right now, so there's not much you can do. You go back to the base, you turtle up, and you have to wait for another Lord to come through. And you can't even contest this next Lord. You have to hope that there is some type of a mistake that Papara Supermassive make at your base when they try to push in, especially with the amount of clear that you have. But that's if you even make it that far, because you do have a Luminous Lord coming down at the bottom lane. Look at how they're syncing up the lanes. All lanes are going to crash at the same time, so Birthright is going to have to deal with all three lanes, split up their defenses. Spear of Vengeance is on as Wasao on the bottom end, dealing with My Lobby. Down goes My Lobby. Mohi with the kill there. Core at 45%. Wrath of Dryad is out. Zao finds a kill onto Mark and one onto Levi. This might be it. Last and finishing touches onto the core. Oh, Mohi tried to drag them away, and they're following. I think Danny's the only one who's like, oh, wait a minute, guys. I think we might have ourselves a little bit of an advantage here, so let's not chase after them. And a Birthright might be going down here. Minions starting to come out. I'm not even sure what the death timers are looking like here, as Danny actually able to, I mean, they were able to defend. They took down 4, and this is what we were talking about when it comes to the defenses that these guys can put on and kind of closing up at the end of some of these games.
Yeah, to be able to turn that back around and make it work in their favor. A very close call. You don't get to see that too often. A base crystal going down about 5% HP twice and still being able to hold on. Just sheer will at its finest from the side of Birthright. And now another window of opportunity. I feel like if this happens for a third time, Papara Supermassive will be the one on the back end. As you mentioned, the respawn timers are climbing, now passing that 17-minute threshold. And the lead is still pretty heavily on the side of Papara Supermassive. But both teams now getting close to that 50K mark threshold. Everybody's going to be full build. So you're not really going to have to worry too much about that deficit that we've seen in the beginning. And this is where you're going to see Birthright catch up on items and start being able to put on a better fight.
Yeah, and I want to say Papara Supermassive have to be just a little bit smarter when they're trying to close up these this end game on a team that has such a huge amount of clear. You have to call out those targets, get that target down, and then disengage from the core, because no matter who your target is, you've still got Wicked on a Beatrix, you've got Danny on the Vexana, you've got an amazing amount of clear from just those two characters alone to be able to clear out all of the minions that you're going to have. And then before you know it, you're underneath their core, taking core shots from them. And that's basically what wiped out the most of Papara Supermassive.
In double window nature from both sides, you're going to be looking at Wicked and Zhao having that. So it's going to really be on who uses it first. It'll work in Zhao's favor, though, especially when you have Levi rushing in or My Lobby with the Petrify play. Pop that window nature just in time, and you may be able to save yourself some trouble and get back to safety. If the ADCs fall here, it could be the difference in who takes this next neutral objective. I mean, look at Levi, look at Lobby, just holding on to these bushes, waiting for a misstep from Papara.
Yeah, they're trying to get an angle. They want to know where the squishies are. And I want to say Papara Supermassive doing such a great job of keeping themselves at an angle. Their squishier heroes are at the most distance that they can be. Levi looking for an opportunity. He doesn't yet see where Zhao is, where After Dark is just yet. And it does look like they're actually going to have to disengage now. And that's going to be an opportunity that Papara needs. Oh, Spear of Vengeance at the top. They do have a Winter Crown. Is that going to be enough? Fist Crack is out, followed by an Eternal Guardian, putting the damage onto Zhao. And just like that, Birthright able to turn it around. 3 down for the side of Papara Supermassive. Shadow Kill takes down After Dark, and Birthright might have the momentum that they need. Are they confused? Where are they going? Are they going for the push? Are they going for the Lord right now? You can see right there. Ooh, in a little bit of trouble. Mark gonna go ahead, land onto Wasau, just trying to keep that CC on to the X XP laner of Papara Supermassive. It does look like Birthright is going to go ahead, start on this Luminous Lord. You've got the Marksman there. You've got the Hayabusa there, so you're going to have more than enough damage. This could be what they are looking for to turn this around and have narrowed down the deficit to a 1K gold lead now.
What a turnaround from Birthright, and the big mistake from Papara Supermassive. Zhao, he saw the low HP of my lobby in the top side and decided to fully engage on it. And not only just him, Mohi joined the party right there. And without the rest of their team to be able to help them because how far they were overextended, the numbers from Birthright is what made the difference. And losing your ADC and also losing your jungler while there's a Luminous Lord in play is not the move you want to make, especially just for the XP laner. And now with Birthright having this advantage, the Luminous Lord on their side, this is going to be the first time in this game that they're in the driver's seat.
Yeah, you can see on Zhao going ahead and switching out one of his items, looking to build up a little bit of defense there. Wicked carrying the side of Birthright right now, 6-1-2, and just hungry for more. It was just an enormously great fight for the side of Birthright, especially because of the angles that Papara Supermassive had. Levi goes in, quad shadows, not able to find the angle he wants. Wasau is right there to protect. Black Dragon is out, trying to zone out the rest of the members to try to pick up this tower on the backside. Blotzfett with a Wrath of Dryad. Is that going to be enough? He gets popped up. Damage is down. Immortality has been proc, but Wicked is right there to claim another for his pocket. Now sitting at 7-1-2. The rest of Birthright turned their attention to the rest of these towers, but they're going to back up as they don't see an opportunity just yet. But why even risk it? You're up by 3K. They're rebounding into the jungle to reset.
A noble sacrifice from Blotzfett though, right? He understood the assignment. He purposely went out there to distract the team of Birthright from not allowing them to enter not only the base, but not allowing 2 lanes of minions to enter as well, which bought Papara Massive some time. And Blotzfett should be back before this next siege on the bot side. They don't even have the lane synced in the top and mid. So if they go for this push,
oh, you do have Levi finds a kill onto After Dark, the rest of the team. You do have that Winter Crown. Mo, he finds a kill on the My Lobby. Mark finds one on the Wasau. And just like that, Birthright turned this around into a first victory.
first series of the day. Group A is full of excitement, and Birthright
15 when you're at their core, because you're going to be facing an angrier, a hungrier, a more skilled, and more synergized team. As we take a look at the stats here, Wicked with the well-earned MVP, 7 kills under his belt. I believe only 1 death the entire game.
Yeah, just able to stay in the back line and get the job done. And I mean, they didn't really have too many heroes that could get back to them from Birthright in the beginning of the game. But toward the later end, that's where they found their synergy. That's where they found their composure. And that's where they found victory.
Yeah, and it's amazing here as we're going to take a look. I want to say this, the first half of this, there's probably going to be no clips of anything successful from Birthright, as they were just having a heck of a time trying to deal with their opponents here. Just so much. I mean, when it comes to getting those Wrath of the Dryads, catching their opponents, there's another one there where they just take so much damage to the point that they get picked off and put behind so well. But the one outstanding figure there was Wicked. He took a death there, but when it comes to the rest of the game, just did such a huge job. Oh my God. And this, I'll bet they're punching themselves in the head right now for that, as they just didn't have the minions to be able to take those last few hits onto the core. And this is where it all turned around for the side of Birthright. An unsuccessful push onto there, and Wicked on the side. Look at the damage. He's dishing out, finds 3 more. And this was the start of the end for the side of Papara Supermassive, as Wicked just taking names for his team.
Yeah, and this is where you get to see them close it out. The turnaround, the counterplay, the resilience, it all paid off in the end, and Birthright was able to reign supreme. Now, I was taking a look at both of those pushes, right, toward Papara Supermassive's favor before it was turned around, and there's Wicked, the MVP, 7-1-4, only 1 death that entire game, which is very impressive considering they're in the back end of the game majority of that match. And yeah, back to what we were saying about the push, right, from Papara Supermassive.
Don't forget to follow and subscribe. Thank you. Kanjut.
Her head was down, face locked onto the phone. And I wished I'd had a number so I could be color unknown. And then I tell her, look into my eyes and